Yeah, it's your boy, DJ Paul, representing that 36 Mafia, man. It's going down WWS Magazine, man. Lifestyle of the rich, young, and famous. Yeah. I started off making mixtapes, but the reason why I did it, because I never wanted to be a mixtape DJ, even though I ended up being one. I never wanted to be a mixtape DJ, so what I used to do is I went about this equipment, and to learn how to use the equipment, that's one thing I started doing, is just doing basic little beat loops and different little shit like that, little sampling and this and that. So to get some extra money, I started, I made one mixtape just out of practicing with my equipment. And what I would do is like maybe play like some NWA or something, and I probably loop the end of the beat or whatever, or the instrumental, and probably put somebody else acapella over, just some basic stuff. Try to learn how to use this 4-track recorder that I had. So I would loop instrumentals and put somebody else vocals over it and this and that, and after a while it went from that to me putting my own vocals over those loops. And then it went from that to me putting my own vocals over my own beats. So I probably would like take an old sample that wouldn't be nobody else's music, like an old James Brown or whatever sample, and loop it and put my own drums behind and a lot of heavy bass and put a little chants. I would put chants, I would do the hooks. My brother, Lord Infamous, would mainly do the verses, or some of the other artists I had at the time back then. Well, it was basically the same thing. Juicy J was on the other side of town. I was on the south side, he was on the north side. And he was doing the same thing that I was doing. And he was real popular on that side of town, I was real popular. Both of us was popular all over the city. Because what we did was we started going up to the stereo shops that sold like kickboxes and car radios and all that. So we did consignment deals with them, and we'd be like, cause we always had a lot of bass in our CDs, our tapes, cassette tapes then. And I'd be like, if somebody come over here to buy a kickbox, I'd like, why don't you let them hear us so they can hear how to bump, and then they might buy your kickbox and my tape. So they started doing that. So we did a consignment for like $4 or $5 a tape. And we would sell thousands and thousands of tapes. So me and Juicy, we were like, why don't we get together and make one together and see what the people buy that. Because they should, obviously, because it was the first little collaboration of our city of that type. So we put one together, and he had his rappers on it, I had my rappers on it, and we just made like a little double DJ kind of posse cassette tape. And it sold real good, everybody liked it, so we made another one and another one and another one, and then we just formed into one posse, and we called it WWS Mafia. Lord Infamous came up with that name. Actually, he was just saying it in a song, and I thought to use it as the name, but he was just saying that we're WWS Mafia. He was just saying it. And I just sampled it, and I just started sampling WWS Mafia, WWS over and over again, just as a little lead into our songs, and we started calling ourselves that. When I was like a little kid, I used to always put together the worst demos in the world. And I would send them the labels, and they would send me a letter back saying, sorry, but we can't use it at the time, and all of it was whack as fuck. And it was before I even had my equipment. But now, once we got big, once we had the WWS Mafia, we didn't even try to get record deals because we were making so much money off the cassette tapes. So what we did was we went and we took about $4,500 what me and Juicy put together. We had money then, but you know, we had a few thousand or whatever, you know, maybe 40 or 50,000 sitting somewhere or whatever. And we took $4,500 and we went into the studio. We used to make all that shit on the 4 tracks, on that same 4-track I was telling you about, same one, $800. But we went into the studio and recorded a real album on some old school reel-to-reels, and that was Mystic Styles, 36 Mafia first album. So we recorded that, we put that out independent. We went and got an independent deal where they would give us $8 a CD, and that was our first CD. So that was our first CD. So we went, we put that out and we sold like, to date, I think we maybe had like 300-some thousand copies of that CD sold. So we didn't even want a record deal. So we went in the studio a year later to make another CD called The End. Now that CD we set out, we was like, since so many people like us, we was afraid that somebody would steal our style since it was so different with the crunk and all that. Wasn't nobody really doing that. So we were like, man, we don't want nobody to steal our style. So we were like, we need to get a video on TV. We need to get a record contract so they'll promote us. So we sent it to Relativity, which was Sony, owned by Sony, and we sent it to Relativity Records. And there's a guy up there that was head of A&R, the president of A&R, he turned it down. So we were like, all right, fuck it. Because we thought Relativity probably would sign us since Relativity had like Bone, and they was doing some distribution for through Red. They distributed with A-Ball and MJG and Swap Records. So I was like, maybe they'll like us, because they got people that's kind of like us. But they turned it down, they didn't like it. So then we went on and brought the N out ourselves. And it ended up selling like 40,000 copies the first week, or first 2 weeks. So like 40,000 copies, and then they called us back. Same dude that turned it down called us back like, hey, they're like, hey, what's going on down there, and this and that. But at that point, since it was doing so good, we could make our own price then. And I was like, you same motherfucker just turned it down. But I was like, whatever, we can talk. So they flew us up there. 2 labels flew us up there, them and Jive Records. And we came home with both of the contracts, and we just sat down. I sat down there on the steps inside my house, and I was just looking at them. I was on the phone with Juice, and we were just going back and forth, just looking at the contracts ourselves. You know, and we decided to go with Relativity Records. So we went up there, they gave us a lot of money up front, and then we just came back and we just started clowning, buying Vipers and all kind of shit, and Lexuses and everything, and it just went from there. So that's one way, that's one thing that break us, that keep us from like everybody else. You know, we try to stay out of trouble, man. Just stay in the studio, you know. And we just be in the studio every single day, Sunday to Sunday. That's it. Man, you just gotta stay focused on it, man. Stay focused and stay away from people that ain't got your best benefit. They ain't got your best interest. And all that, man. Get the hell away from them, because they'll hold you back, they'll slow you down. And just, if you can believe you can achieve, man, you gotta really, really want it. You can't just want it because it looks good. And when you see somebody else riding down the street with girls and cars and on stage and doing this and that, because you know, it probably ain't for you, it ain't for everybody. If God wanted everybody on this earth to have money, he would have gave it to them. And can you imagine what kind of world it would be if everybody was rich? It'd be hell around this fucking place. So, you know, if it's for you to have it, you'll have it. You just gotta stay focused on it. You gotta want it real bad. You gotta work hard to get it, and you gotta keep it legal. You can't want it to the point where you'll hurt somebody to get it, because that ain't gonna last.
Right.